Hi, welcome to my Trends Analysis Report. My name is Sandy Boyer, and this report was done for Franciscan University. This Trends Analysis Report will cover the following trends: personalized education, digital learning and technology, charter, vouchers, and school choice. This report will also attempt to examine PA Cyber's reaction to the trends, as well as investigate current threats and develop strategies and timelines for implementation of the strategy. Personalized education is a growing trend in schooling. We live in an era of mass customization, which constantly puts pressure on standardization. Personalized education is a trend that developed due to government's increased role in state and federal funding of education. In order to acquire the funding, schools had to agree to the standards mandated by the state. Also, the effect of the poorer economy and international competition led to high-stakes testing, which also led to personalized education. Growing numbers of educators and public officials will need to realize that the only logical way to reach and exceed appropriate standards will be through personalization. The result of personalized education can also be perceived to contain some threats to the adequacy of the educational system. Setting standards in a quick-paced world creates a freezing effect, and therefore standardizations of testing should be flexible, which they are not. To freeze is to fail. There is also the problem of deciding which standards should be taught and which should be set aside due to lack of time. Currently, reading and math take precedence over the social sciences and the arts, and therefore many of those subjects end up being cut. Many parents also feel the pressure of high-stakes testing, as it takes a toll on family time with its increase on homework and increased demands of their children's performance. One must also note the demand for high-stakes testing did not accompany additional funding, and many programs that were designed to meet the needs for minority students have been dissolved. Even though these are considered threats to the educational system, they are also the reason personalized education has increased. High-stakes testing will have many consequences in education, and unfortunately it will mostly affect the students who do not fit into what the state has mandated as a standard. As Arnold Fedge, the president of Public Advocacy for Kids, states, "What will be sacrificed will be the non-standard student who cannot function in a compliance-based classroom." Personalized education is on an increase at PA Cyber. I personally have seen a dramatic increase this year, especially in my high school study of contemporary music classes. 32 high school music students out of 71 have a personalized education plan. This increase does not accompany any funding for resource teachers for students who are particularly struggling. My 8th grade fine art classes are not quite as individualized in their educational needs. Currently, out of 158 students, only 21 have personalized education plans. Both are an elective, but one can readily perceive the dramatic increase in personalized education plans that occur between 8th grade and high school. As a regular education teacher, I do understand that personalized education might help students who otherwise quit school as early as 9th grade. As the increase of personalized education continues to rise at PA Cyber, a course of action and a timeline is a much needed strategy. First, First, educators and public officials need to be made aware that personalized education is also a key to reaching state standards. This needs to be implemented and utilized in our adequate yearly progress report before students are tested in March of this year. The success of our school will be measured on how quickly we move forward toward emphasizing the development of each individual's skills and talents, as opposed to being an informational delivery system. Secondly, the use of performance-based testing using portfolios and exhibits of the student's work should be explored as possible replacement to standardized testing. This process not only holds the student accountable for their education, but the teacher as well. Also, this type of testing occurs over lengthier periods of time and is therefore much more in-depth and accurate. Timeline: research on portfolio-based testing and the state's acceptance of it as a replacement to PSSA should begin right away. Third, and last, we need to redefine our expectations we have for our students and our school. State standards have led us to implementation of personalized education. How far should we let it go? Should we endeavor to have every student endorse a personalized education plan? If so, how would we impose standards? Or should we remove them and replace them with expectations? These are just a few of the questions that need addressed during the implementation of the personalized education planning process. Trend 2, digital learning and technology. Digital learning and technology is a fast-paced educational trend. In December of 2010, former governors Bob Weiss and Jeb Bush released a report titled Digital Learning Now. The report suggests that now is the time to unleash the power of digital learning to customize and personalize education so all students can learn in their own style at their own pace. Overall, Americans feel that computer technology is necessary for education and preparing our students for the future. Americans said preparing students for college or a career, also the president's primary education goal, was the #1 reason why high schools should use more computer technology, followed by making more classes available for students who attend smaller schools or live in rural areas. However, Americans are not quite ready to replace their teachers with technology. And at the same time, Americans said relying on computers rather than teachers was a low priority. With technology being utilized more and more in education, e-books are also on the rise. Most Americans favor using e-books in high school but do not feel they are appropriate at the elementary level. While only 1 of 4 Americans thought elementary students should use them, half of Americans thought they were appropriate in middle schools, and almost 2 out of 3 Americans believed they were appropriate for high school students. PA Cyber has many of their course books online and readily available for students to use at any time. Regular handheld books are still sent out at the beginning of the year, but many students find the e-book availability helpful if they are traveling or they happen to be at a Bricks and Clicks facility and they forgot to bring their school books. It is also interesting to note that Americans view the quality of a good teacher more important than the actual presence of a teacher. Almost half of Americans are open to the idea that higher quality instruction trumped having a teacher present in the classroom. This is a positive finding for cyber teachers everywhere. Overall, Americans feel that students must be quite familiar with technology and the use of a computer as a critical educational skill necessary for their success in the future. Computer skills are no longer a luxury, they are a necessity. Whether a student's future involves college, a profession such as medicine, or a vocation such as an automobile mechanic, the ability to master technology is now a basic skill and one that is critical for all students. At PA Cyber, the use of technology is a continuous changing trend. However, there are standards and procedures in place for every student once they enroll in our school. Students are given everything necessary to achieve success on an online education. They are even given a router if there is more than one student in their family. Students are also able to keep their equipment for a period of 4 years, and at that time they can turn it in for newer equipment. Currently, we observe a 4-year technology refresh period, which is a year longer than our standard warranty period. For example, a student entering 9th grade would use that laptop throughout until the senior year. PA Cyber also offers internet access for reimbursement for up to $50 per family, and technical support is available Monday through Fridays from 8 until 4. If nighttime support is needed, it may also be set up on an individual basis. Technological threats, cloud computing. PA Cyber does its very best to keep up with changing technology. However, this is one of our current threats. More and more schools are using cloud computing, which saves the school money and also provides the students with the latest available technology. For students, this includes access to more than 100 approved websites, electronic books, email, hundreds of education applications categorized by grade and subject, collaboration tools, and video conferencing. Through cloud computing, students and their teachers have access to these tools and resources from anywhere, anytime, via almost any device, including smartphones. This allows the learning environment to be mobile, just like our students. With more and more schools turning to cloud computing, PA Cyber needs to recognize this as a threat and begin immediately researching the use of cloud computing within the virtual classroom. Cloud computing is the direction technology is going, says Matt Carlton, Director of Technology for the Bethlehem School District in Albany County, New York. The Office applications on the internet, such as word processing and spreadsheets, aren't as sophisticated as what you might get in Microsoft Word or Excel, but they are getting better, and they don't cost anything to access. With the cuts in education, PA Cyber should begin researching the use of cloud computing. Time frame immediately. Hopefully, implementation will begin in the spring of 2012. Trend 3, charters, vouchers, and choice. Americans continue to embrace the concept of charter schools. This year's poll shows an approval rating of 70%, the highest recorded since the question was first asked 10 years ago. Charter school support has increased steadily over that period. Support for public charter schools is strongest among Americans under age 40 at 76%. Americans increasingly support choice, allowing students and parents to choose which public schools to attend in their community regardless of where they live, and this support is consistent across age differences and political affiliation. But vouchers received the lowest approval rating in the past 10 years, with only 1 of 3 Americans favored allowing students and parents to choose a private school to attend with public dollars. I've included here a copy of PA Cyber's charter that was approved in 2010 and will end June 30th, 2015, and hopefully it will be renewed at that time. Threats and funding cuts to charter schools as recent as December 2nd, 2011. A coalition of superintendents from 5 area counties released a report Friday on the eve of a House debate in Harrisburg, condemning charter schools for operating without the same intense scrutiny and mandates as public schools, while producing lesser achievement across the board. The report compared state test scores of public and charter schools in Carbon, Lehigh, Monroe, Northampton, and Pike counties, and its findings generally reinforcing standard criticisms of the public schools' counterparts. Course of action and timeline. At PA Cyber, we do get involved. We have rallies to Harrisburg, and we spread the word. We contact our officials and local communities and let them know about their schools and to stand up for school choice. Time frame is ongoing. How much time does it really take to get involved? In as little as 10 minutes, you can let your voice be heard in up to an hour or more to meet officials. Voice your opinion and make an impression. The Center for Education Reform states some specific strategies to fight for funding for your school. In only 30 minutes, you can contact your elected officials, engage the media, and get connected. In 1 hour, you can advocate, get informed, meet your elected officials. I've included for you an example of how in only 10 minutes you can make a statement and let your voice be heard. I received an email back from Senator Jay Costa on October 25, 2011, relating to my thoughts in regards to Senate Bill 904, which encourages the creation of charter schools while ensuring that they are accountable for the education that they provide students. In only 10 minutes, I made an impact. Thank you for watching my trends analysis. My name is Sandy Boyer, and I am a fine art and music teacher for PA Cyber. Bibliography. Sites used.